Welcome to the tutorials for 30 progressive tunes. So if this is your first time playing the harp, I hope you really enjoy it. So there's a few things we should probably talk about. One of them is posture. So when you sit, you want to sit with a lovely straight back and your feet firmly on the floor. And the harp sits on your right shoulder, like that. And if you find that it's constantly kind of pulling away from you, you might want to move yourself backwards or move the harp a little bit forwards, so that it just sits nicely, but it doesn't feel heavy. If it feels heavy, that would be that it's tipping too far back onto you and you're taking too much weight. So if it feels heavy, you probably want to move a bit more towards the edge of your chair. So just rest here rather than weight being here. And if there is any weight, then that would be taken by the knees. But really, you want the harp to be almost at a point where it pretty much balances itself and there isn't too much weight. Okay, the next thing maybe to think about is what we do with our arms. And if you imagine that you were riding a bike or a scooter or something like that, then you'd have your elbows up, but you also don't want your shoulders to come up when your elbows come up. So shoulders down, but elbows up a little bit. You can maybe imagine you're a pirate and you've got a parrot sitting on your shoulder, so that will keep you some space here. And then in terms of the hands, we have the thumbs up and the fingers pointing downwards. Now, this first tune we're going to do doesn't actually use the thumbs at all, but we're just going to have the thumbs up for the time being, just to practice that shape, because it might feel a bit strange. We also want the palm to be quite open. You could try putting a little ball in your hand just to feel the shape. I'll see if I've got one. Yeah. So this is a squidgy ball. So that kind of gives you the idea of the open palm that you want. The thumb up and the fingers pointing down. Like this. Okay, so the first piece is just going to use the second finger. We're going to do it with the left hand, and it starts on middle C. So for me, on this harp, middle C is here. It's not my very bottom red string. It's the next red string up. This is a 26 string harp, so if you've got a small lever harp like that, then it'll be the same for you. So I've got this red one right at the bottom, but it's the one up from there. If you've got a full-size pedal harp, it's going to be the 4th C from the top. That's if you've got a 47 string pedal harp. If you've got a 34 string lever harp, then middle C is actually going to be more in the middle, so that's kind of quite helpful in terms of knowing where it is. Okay, so we're going to use our second finger and we aim for the middle of the strings because that's where we get the nicest sound. But maybe the middle could come sort of somewhere in between where our thumb is and where our second finger is, because later on we're actually going to be using the thumb as well. So it wouldn't be much good if the second finger was right in the middle, because then the thumb would end up all the way up here. So if you imagine sort of a line cutting the string in half and then put your thumb and second finger either side of it, but we're not actually going to put the thumb on the string at the moment. And then Tiger Prowling just uses 4 notes, C, D, E flat and F, and those are all next door to each other. So it's going to sound like this. And then there's a teacher part, and then you keep repeating that. If you listen to the recording, it will really help before you actually try and play it yourself. So there's a recording of the whole piece that's got the teacher part in it, and the part that you play. But you're just going to play those 4 notes. Now, if yours is sounding like this, that will be because you haven't tuned your harp in E flat major. If you haven't got a clue what that means, don't worry about it. There's another video to help you with that. But basically, these strings, some of them are just what we call natural notes, so you just give them a name like A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And some of them have got like a surname, and their surname is flat, and that means they're slightly lower than just the normal regular note. And what we want to do on the lever harp is we want to have our B's, our E's and our A's tuned to flat. So that when we play an E, it's always an E flat. If we play an A, it's always an A flat. Or if we play a B string, it's always going to be a B flat. Unless we've done something with the levers. But that's what we want when all the levers are down. We want to have B flats, E flats and A flats. Now I'll just play you that little bit of Tiger Prowling again with the correct key. So in E flat major with all my levers down. Okay, and then you'll get the teacher bit, then you do it again, you get the teacher bit, you do it again, you get the teacher bit, you get the idea. So hopefully you've got the book and you'll be able to follow it through. I just wanted to add something about what we call articulation, and that's actually what's going on with the fingers and the thumbs. So when you're plucking with the second finger, you squeeze the string a tiny bit, pluck it, and then the finger comes right into the palm and then you release it. So you don't just sort of do this, you actually want to fully articulate, so fully come into the palm and then release it. So come into the palm and then you relax when you play. Maybe you could just see that on here. I'll just play this C string. So I'll squeeze the string just a tiny bit and then this will come into the palm and then it relaxes. Okay.